Hello, my name is Rebekah Ricks. I'm here with the Homeschool Connection in Central Florida, and we're doing What's Our Brew, and we're going to go a little bit here, do a follow-up to homeschooling in difficult times, what we've gone through. And the name of our vlog is The Brew. What did I say? The Brew, B-R-E-W, brew, like coffee, because I have a coffee obsession. And a brew is a mixture of people, events, and things that come together to make a more potent whole. So that's what I would like to talk about. Some brew we'd like to be part of your a more potent whole of your more potent whole too. Be a potent part of that. I think I just use potent more times in a sentence than I ever have, ever. So, about homeschooling. Homeschooling during difficult days. All right. First thing, we talked about this last time, but I just want to kind of reiterate it because I talked to a couple people, and the number one thing is it's going to happen. We're going to have difficult times. I hate to be like, well, that's what homeschooling is, but instead of just being that's part of it, we do have to understand it's going to get hard. There are things that are going to happen that are going to get really, really hard. So a couple things that I think are really important, and is that when that happens, stop what you're doing and just do your main subjects. Okay, so for most students, your core subjects or your main subjects are going to be your math and your English. Okay, when it gets hard, when difficult times come, sometimes the best thing to do is get rid of all the extra stuff and just take care of what needs to get done. Math and English. Focus on those two things. Make sure you're getting, whether it's older or younger, math every day. And English includes spelling, your spelling, grammar if you need to do grammar, writing. Make sure those core things that they need to learn for each one is getting reading if they're younger. Stop, because usually it's something hard. Feeling overwhelmed by too much curriculum or different things, just stop and do the core. I'm not a huge science person. Science isn't one of my things. So drop science and just focus on what you need to get done. And part of that would be take some time to really, if you're doing English, instead of having them read the book, if reading is really hard, take the time to do read alouds. Take time to really, really spend some one-on-one with your student, doing something academic, maybe reading something about science, reading something, but step back and just reevaluate and say, what are the really important things we need to get done here? Your math is always really important. That needs to be done daily. English writing needs to be done daily. Take time and just do some reading instead of if they're struggling in writing a book report. Okay, this book report I'm going to read out loud to you. I find that no matter what grade level you do, and I wouldn't have thought that I would like this, what grade level you do, they enjoy being read to. I like to read to my middle schoolers. I like to read to my high schoolers. It's a good listening subject. And, the other thing is sometimes when difficult times come, we want to push through a curriculum. Go really slow. Make sure that subject, remember, go at your own pace. Okay, so you're hitting difficult times and we're having a really hard time with reducing fractions. Then stop. Make sure that concept is really learned before you move on. Okay, don't drop the concept. Make sure that concept is really learned. Focus on what you need to learn for that and then move on to the next thing. Now, I'm not saying beat a dead horse. Sometimes that can be frustrating, but take it each day, work on it, and then get it done. And then the next thing is sometimes when difficult times come for whatever reason, we feel like we have to do it. We're homeschooling, we have to do it all on our own. Don't feel bad about asking for help. There might be someone else. Great example. I love math. I can teach math. I feel very confident in that. That's my thing. I'm not a science teacher. There are other people who can teach reading better than me. Ask someone for help. maybe you do need to find a tutor or someone else to outsource that to or give that to. So, you know, here at the Homeschool Connection, we do tutoring, we have classes. I think sometimes we get in this idea if we don't do it all ourselves, it's going to be, you know, that's not it. Have someone to do it. Maybe you have an older, if it's a younger student, you know someone who's a teacher who would not mind helping your student and working with them. There's tons and tons of resources out there for something like that. So I guess just to sum it up, when difficult times comes, realize it's going to be difficult. You know there's going to be a time when it's going to be hard. And when it gets hard, stop all the extra. We don't have to do all the history, all the science, all the extra experiments, everything. Focus on your math, your English, the course that need to be done. Take time in that English to do some reading, read alouds, or some one-on-one, or an activity that child really enjoys. If they're really a science person, then do that. Take that time. And while you're taking that time, don't rush through curriculum. Take time to focus on the core, and along with that, take time to make sure that they're really learning the subject material, that you're not just flying over it, that it's, you know, we call that mastery, or really learning it. And then fourth, ask for help. You know, if there's someone else who can do it better, then ask them. There's a lot of people that we can do it. Sometimes we hate to ask for help, but ask for help. If you need another teacher to teach it, or ask someone for how to teach this, everybody does it a little bit different. Do that. Ask for help from someone. And then the fifth thing, always, which I guess should be number one, that goes without saying, is take time to pray about it. You know, ask God to give you peace about what you're doing. You know, always when we can get the peace that we're doing what God wants us to do, even when it's hard, that's always the best if we can feel that peace. So hopefully when you hit your difficult time, which maybe hasn't happened yet, but will happen, you can remember a few of these things. All right. Hopefully you guys will like us, follow us. We're at www.thehomeschoolconnection.net, and I look forward to seeing you next week, next Tuesday.